So that's how you divvy up. That's how I look at it. Sometimes when I come back from work or my husband comes back from work and he wants to load on me, I say, babe, I have no capacity today.
And he understands.
He understands because we did the parenting thing together.
Yeah.
So the communication is there.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
think that's very crucial. Being able to communicate with your support system, whether it's your
Correct.
partner or whoever
Yeah,
that's living with you.
And really, like, sometimes people don't understand. So I have lost a lot of friends because they just don't understand.
But it's
where
okay
I
that
am.
you lose it.
And it's
lose
okay
them, right?
because it's less for me to carry, you know? And because I'm an ex-people pleaser, the less...
I love that word.
Please,
I want to be an ex people pleaser.
Oh my God, I'm gonna make you a t-shirt that says
ex people pleaser.
We at Grow and Glow Mama are a sanctuary where motherhood meets empowerment. Together, we embrace strengths, lean on each other, and illuminate the path for all mamas. Join our vibrant community on Instagram and hotline group. Let's grow and glow together every step of the way.
Hey, welcome to Mama's Here. I'm Diyana Hashim. And I'm Sofea Mastan. We're here to share the real unfiltered side of motherhood. Think of us as your mom gang on this insane adventure, constantly learning, growing, and most of the time, just winging it. Mama's Here because we know you've always been there for others. Now it's our turn to be there for you.
So today's episode promises to be a discovery of the incredible and scary journey into the world of motherhood. And we're here to uncover the layers that make up this amazing yet very, very challenging role of being a mom.
It's so interesting. Do you know that one of the invisible struggles many moms go through is balancing their individual identity while embracing motherhood? It's a journey of self-discovery that not a lot of people realize mothers have to go through.
Yeah, definitely. And today we're diving into just that, finding ourselves amidst the beautiful chaos of motherhood. And this episode is for anyone who's ever felt lost in the transition into being a mom and is looking to rediscover themselves.
We're so happy to have Ili with us to share her unique journey. We'll explore her experience during pregnancy, her evolving thoughts on motherhood, and her personal journey in finding balance as a mom.
Hi, thanks so much for joining
Thanks for
us.
coming.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, it's super exciting.
This is so exciting, guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How it's like there's so many conversations that we want to have like as parents and stuff like that. Well,
Yeah.
mothers specifically, but for Mamas Here, we wanted it to be very mom centric. We want to get to know everyone's journeys because it's all very, very different. Despite our circumstances, we all still have the same goals. We have very similar struggles.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've always found very interesting about motherhood is how it brings a lot of changes in people's lives. And it's not just in our daily lives, but deep down in who we are. And it's like one day you're you, and then the next you're a mom, and then suddenly you're like this whole new part of your identity that you're trying to figure out because you're just like, am I a mom? Am I this? Am I that? And I think this is a question that we can throw to anyone who's tuning in or even to us right now, like, but specifically to Ili lah, like first, how did you find this transition? Like, how did you find the transition into motherhood affected your sense of self?
Wow, that's a very loaded question. Because I feel like I'm definitely a very different person from who I was before I had my son. And I feel like I'm still on that journey of trying to figure out who she is.
Still?
Yes.
And how old is your son?
1 year, 9 months.
So I have a 5-year-old. I
Yeah.
feel the same.
Yeah. And I think it's a thing of like, it's not you know that you can't be the same person as you were before.
Yeah.
So you've accepted that.
Yes.
So you have to go through the process of like grieving that girl.
Yeah.
And like grieving that wife and grieving that friend and grieving that daughter and grieving that person.
Yeah.
Because she was a person and something that you really need to take into account. So that grieving process takes time, right? It's like a breakup almost.
Yes.
And then after that, after the grieving process, it's also like the discovery
Getting to know yourself back
again. And what is that? Everyone has their process, right?
Yeah.
So it could be, you disconnect and you take time to kind of like reconnect with yourself. I don't know. There's so many different processes. Or you go to therapy, or you do this, or you do that, but at the same time, you can't really just completely let go as well because you still you have a child to look after. You're
Yeah.
responsible for that as well. So there's all this added pressure. And then also, of course, you have the community of like having to bounce back and
my
be this
God.
person
Yeah.
and be this like
Yes.
It's
the
like
girl that you once were, and then
Yeah.
wear the clothes that you were supposed to, but it doesn't fit. And you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
things that you
Yep.
just have to.
You have to juggle between mental health,
Yes.
taking care of a child, being
Yeah.
an adult,
And then
Yeah.
being
making sure that
and
your
then, correct,
Yeah.
and then being a wife, and then
Yeah.
like being a
Yeah.
daughter, being
Yeah.
an employee, being a boss, or whatever it is, right? So yeah, so if you ask me like what's the process, I don't know, I'm still going through it. So
do you feel like you have lost your identity through this motherhood journey?
yeah, of course, I would, it would be a lie
Yeah.
to say, oh no, I'm still
'Cause
fine.
on
You know?
social media, you look like you put it like, you know,
So casual.
like,
like
so,
macam all
you
this.
talk about like, all these things that you go through, and it's like, oh, she's so inspired. Like for me as
Yeah.
a mom, I
Yeah.
looked at you and I feel like it's inspiring.
Mm-mm.
It's positive, but at the same time, it's nice to know. That's why we do mamas here, because it's
Yeah.
nice to know the ugly side of
Yeah.
motherhood.
I mean, I do share what is authentically me.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you see me on social media, or you see me on TV, or you've seen me somewhere, and you meet me in real life, I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like the bubbly, you know,
Yes,
Ili
yes.
Sulaiman. That's still me. That's still a very big part of me. But
Right.
my joys,
Of course.
what brings me pleasure,
Mhm.
what motivates me,
Yeah.
everything's changed.
Yeah.
It's shifted
Mm-mm.
almost. You know, what's
Yeah.
important to me is shifted.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, like, how do you find that balance in like, you know, shifting your personal goals and ambitions since you've become a mom?
So I guess, you know, I did a lot of work before I became a mom, right? So I joined a parenting class because I am a mom a lot older than some of my friends. A lot of my friends had their babies when they were in their like late 20s, early 30s. I had Micah when I was 37. So quite late in the game. So I saw how much they struggled. And I learned from them, and blessed my girlfriends because they were so candid and open with me. So I saw kind of the pitfalls and the challenges they went to. And I said, look, I want to be different from how my mom parented me. I want to be different. I want to break the cycle of, you know, of all this guilt and this like, you know, all this stuff that, you know, you grow up as a Asian parent. So I was like, okay, how do I change that? So I joined a parenting coaching class called Respectful Parenting
Mm-hmm.
by Rachel Quartz. And basically it helped me kind of help me think that, okay, as a parent, you have to, it's not about parenting your child, it's about parenting yourself.
Oh
Right?
my gosh. It's like
So-
it's basically, yeah, because technically the study says that there's a study that says the way we parent is the diluted version of how our parents parented us, and
Yeah.
it just keeps on going and going and going. It's like a vicious
Correct.
trauma
so, you know,
cycle.
and you have to parent your inner child, you have to parent the Ilis, the small Ili, and how would the small Ili would like her parent to have parent her, right? So it really helps you kind of, but that kind of like propelled me to think about the childhood traumas and the things
Yes,
that, you
yes.
know, that you go through. And obviously when I had Micah, I had really bad postpartum.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember the first month.
Tell us a
because-
little bit about that.
yeah, so I you know, all my life I thought, oh, I have a great life, you know, I have a great relationship with my parents, you know, I'm fine, you know, I have an amazing husband, he's wonderful, and I have so much support, I have great friends and all this kind of stuff. And then I had the baby and I
And bam!
and bam.
Oh my gosh. What happened?
I remember the night I was in the hospital and I was just sobbing. I was just crying and crying, and I felt extreme loneliness. I felt extreme homesick. Plus, I was in pain because I had a C-sec. And I just was crumbling, and I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I remember calling one of my girlfriends, Sasha, and she was out with a bunch of her other friends, and I was crying, and they were crying with me because they understood, right? They
Yeah.
understand that. So the first month of me in postpartum was a mess. I felt this extreme homesickness. I didn't know where it was coming from. I was with my mom. I was at home. I was with my husband. There was no. Why would I feel so lonely? Why would I feel
Yeah.
so homesick?
Even you
And-
saying this, I want to like cry because I feel that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that was me too.
And I think a lot of women don't share
Share
this.
it.
Yeah, because
And you know, and
yeah.
when I went to see we share the same gynae, Dr.
Yeah.
Raghu. Shout out Dr. Raghu. He's
Thank you,
the
Dr.
most
Raghu.
awesome. And he looked at me and he was like, "You okay?" I was like, "No, I'm crying every day." And he booked a session with a psychologist. And I went to see him, and basically, yeah, I was kind of not postpartum depression, it was postpartum blues. But I couldn't sleep, so I was medicated. And the follow up to that was therapy. So I have been seeing a therapist.
Up until today.
Yeah. So that is the kind of work that you need to put in, because the way we were brought up is very different from
True.
how things are now. And we have to change, and we have to break the cycle
Yeah.
of this, guilt tripping, because it's like embedded in our
System.
system.
Yeah.
Yes, it's embedded in our system. And trauma is not just mental, it's physical trauma.
So
So your
true.
body also remembers
Yeah.
the pain.
The thing is, it's like I was very lucky postpartum because the thing is, during my pregnancy, like, and this is part of the reason why we wanted to have you here. Like,
Yeah.
Ili, you're like my fairy godmother lah, basically. Because funnily enough, she was days before her C-sec, and then I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
She was actually the third person that I called to say like, guess what? I'm pregnant.
What do I do?
What do I do? So because it was so fresh in her mind and everything, that it was so great for me to go through that journey. And like during pregnancy, it became smoother because I understood what you went through.
Yeah.
And even within the earlier part of postpartum for you, that you got to share certain things that I was a little bit more mindful. But I know, Sofea, also you shared something relatively similar in terms of your postpartum blues. Like, we can share this over here
Yeah.
as well. Like, what was yours like?
Yeah.
I remember holding my 5-year. I mean, at that time, my firstborn, and I told my husband I don't want her, and in front of my mom, and like you, I had the support system. At the outside, the support system was great, and I remember holding her and say I don't want her, and my husband cried like, because he wanted a baby. Like, that's for the longest time he said that, okay, when I get married I want to have a baby, like straight away, he doesn't want to think. And then I said that, but I love my baby, but I just didn't understand why I said that. And I also cried every day. I didn't like the postpartum, like
Everything,
Yeah.
the
everything from the pantang,
Yeah.
from the food, from the
the balloon.
Hey, I like the food. Okay, I have bayam like every single day. That was like my favorite thing. Okay,
But honestly, it was a difficult journey, and that's why I started a community, because like you said, our previous generation does not understand our generation now, and when we say something, they will say like, "Oh, but we were not like that, before that kind of thing." So having, like you say, you have friends that understand you, and you're there, and that helps a little.
yeah.
But at the same time, I really do not understand why I had that. But I love my children. But sometimes I feel guilty for saying it. But it's okay,
Yeah, it's a combination. Like, so, I mean, now that I'm in therapy, it's a combination of things, right? It's just like, it's obviously the hormones. So basically, the minute the baby comes out, the
Hormones
the
just
hormones, the
hair
flash
wave.
of the
Hair wave,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like the hormones. Then it's also it's almost as if like you are reborn as well. Because you're going through the process of when you were a baby, how you were looked after. So all of that, that's what my therapist shared with me. Is
so
that
good. I need your therapist
Yeah.
contact.
Dude, no, you actually have to listen to this, like, because like during Ili's pregnancy, because like what she said, like when she went through
because
Rachel's class,
I did the parenting class, right?
like
So that really helped.
Yeah, can you actually like talk a little bit,
more.
because there's some things that I would love to highlight after this, but why don't you share your experience?
I mean, okay, so on the three, I mean, one of the biggest takeaways that me and my husband took was basically, the first one is your childhood traumas is something that you have to treat, and it's like I said, it's a mental block, and it's also a physical block, and you have to acknowledge what the small Sofea D Ili needs from parents. So one of my biggest things was, my parents were both in the airline, so they traveled a lot when I was a child. And although I was obviously around a lot of amazing family and friends to look after me, but I was always neglected. Even though I was loved, But because they were flying, and back in the days, they would fly for like a week or 10 days. And mana ada WhatsApp call or video call, nothing, you know? And it was like long distance. They would call me once in like 7 days or 10 days.
Right.
So I felt the loneliness when I had my postpartum was the same feeling I had as a child.
Wow.
But because I had gone through the parenting class, I knew what it was.
Oh my days.
I knew that I needed someone to reassure me that they had my back. They would come back and I was loved.
Oh my.
So that's why like my pantang lady was important to me. Because when I cried, she cried. When I cried, my mom cried. And that helped me with healing. Because they understood that the loneliness, the homesickness was I was homesick for my parents to be there for me. So that's the one thing. So that's just a reflection of the parenting class. The second one is the they call it the traffic light brain. So it's the red brain, yellow brain, green brain. And you can use this even as an employee or like when you're dealing with difficult people or whatever it is every day. Yeah. So
I deal with difficult people every day.
You mean your children? Okay, so red brain is when a child is in tantrum mode where no matter what you do, nothing will stop them from crying and screaming. And this also happens in adults when people are enraged. So when you have a fight with your husband or your mom or your parent or whoever, they're in red brain. Nothing you do or say will help. The only thing that you can do is breathe. And I practiced this with Micah when he was born as well. So when he would be upset, he couldn't communicate. Babies cry, right?
Yeah.
But to calm them down, I would breathe. Just deep breathe. And he follows. Till today, he still does it. So before, when I can see, you can tell when your child's about to get there.
Yeah.
Right? So you breathe. So to get them out of red brain, you just breathe. And you can do it in a meeting as well. So I've had difficult clients.
Okay.
And what happens is when they start hyping up, I start breathing. It's your body language, right?
Yeah.
You breathe in, you breathe out. And suddenly the energy in the room changes. Okay? So what you want is from the red brain to go to yellow brain. Yellow brain is where you affirm them. You affirm them, I'm here for you. I love you. I support you.
I acknowledge you.
I acknowledge you. Mommy understands you're upset, It's okay to be upset. So you, affirmations, just tons of affirmation. You're doing a great job, blah, blah, blah. And from the yellow brain, it goes up to the green brain. And the green brain is when children flourish. That's when they are adventurous and they're confident and they want to explore and they want to do this. And even with adults, when they're in green brain, that's when they become the best versions of themselves.
Yeah,
right.
You can see the transition as well when you manage to see a child that's like throwing a tantrum or or even
and
yourself.
Tantrums are great. Tantrums are fine.
Yeah, because I throw a tantrum every now and then. It would just be like, why is it? And like, you just get to that red brain stage. Everything, it's like the white fury of hell kind of situation.
And nothing you say can help in the red brain. The only thing that you can do is breathe.
Yeah.
It's so like
because
awakening.
people forget. So when if you realize, the next time you get angry, you stop breathing. Actually, you hold your breath.
Yeah.
And your body
tenses up. Yeah, that's right.
So the only way to break out of it is just to take a moment and just breathe.
Yeah.
And you just do like 10 deep breaths.
Yeah.
And automatically you feel better.
Do you know, it's so funny because and bearing in mind, breathing works wonderfully for a lot of people. There are, other methods of breathing, add-on breathing to chanting if you want to zikir or something like that.
But the best thing is
just breathe lah.
Yeah.
Memang betul lah. Because at the end of the day, you're slowing your brain down a little bit. And the reason why I say this is because my friend Angel and I were talking one fine day lah about Aulia was teething, and for the life of me, I was like, this is the next level of hell that I can on earth that I can possibly imagine. And then she was like, oh yeah, people say that when you're about to you're closer to the older age and mortality hits you, that's when you become more spiritual. No, it's when you become a parent, because that's the point where you're so stressed out, you start chanting all your mantras. Okay. And she even said this is an add-on which is my favorite. Essentially, if the concept of hell in her mind would be an infinite loop of sleep regression and teething at the same time. And I was like, bro, I'm hearing that also I want to be like, ooh, so relax a little bit. But okay, let's talk about like in terms of your classes, like one of the things that I definitely have to like highlight as well was that question that you said that you went through in class where they asked you like if you could have done something, if you could have had something different growing
Different,
up,
yeah.
what would it be?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
back to the example that I gave about my parents not being around. So there's many times that my parents would just leave because I was sleeping and they would not say goodbye to me. So I wake up, panic that they had left and they're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
yeah.
would cry and cry and cry and look for them. And then, it's horrible to feel like that as a child. So what would I have wanted for my parents would have done is actually to wake me up and to say, okay, mommy and daddy going to work, we'll be back. You're at grandma's house. Because I would sleep in my home, in my bed. Then I'll wake up in a completely random place, like, my grandparents'
yeah.
place. So I didn't want that, right? So you look back at your kind of like childhood and the things that you wanted your parents to say to you or explain to you, even as a child of like 2-3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Children understand, right?
Yeah.
Or things like my mom used to say this to me, like children are meant to be seen and not heard. So for a very long time, I was invincible. My opinions or what I wanted to say did not matter.
Yeah.
I think we
right?
all feel like I don't know. Do
It's
you
like-
feel like
it's a
that too
common-
when we
it's
were
a
like
common-
It's a common
Yeah.
Asian thing, I
thing,
find, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to girls, like
Yes.
growing up. Because I was always like, I was the baby, and then
Mm-mm.
like I have an older brother, an older sister, and like my brother and sister, like they're awesome, but they're closer in age. So it was more like they had their chats and stuff. Whereas for me, it's like you're the little baby princess. So like all of your opinions, like macam,
Yeah, they don't
like
take
it doesn't
it.
really
Right.
like take it
Yeah.
into account, and it's really really sad when you go through that. And I think it relates back to how we feel when it comes to dealing with post-pregnancy, postpartum, basically, whether you are in your first few months or first few years.
Yeah.
I find that one of my biggest challenges is that like, so I have ADHD, and then like whenever I get very flustered, and that's very easy because it hormones mate. So it's so difficult to want to string your sentences together. And if you think in your head that you are actually saying the thing that you want to say, but people still don't understand you, it's like the most frustrating thing.
Yeah.
And I can totally understand in that sense how that feeling of loneliness will get to you after a while. But going back to like hormone stuff.
No, I just want to answer the question that you asked. So basically, like, what it really goes back to how you would like your children to be treated, or the people around you. So like, do to you what others, do to others what you
Absolutely.
want
Yeah,
it
yeah.
to be done to you, essentially. And with parenthood, and even with yourself, like we're talking about, like myself, right? So now, like, I'm in that stage where I have no clue, like, because I've done all this work. I've done all the work for my brain, like all like childhood traumas, the therapy sessions, the coaching, and all that kind of stuff. But I also feel still very trapped. Like when something happens and something triggers me, I know, okay, this is this and this. Like this is the past through trauma, or this is something that has happened to me, and I know how to say it, but somehow it doesn't feel good in my body.
Okay.
In not feeling good in your body doesn't allow you to fully like allow yourself to be okay with the situation, whatever situation is. So give you an example is, I know that I have social anxiety because I don't know who I am anymore. So I'm not Ili Sulaiman like last time, where I can go to any situation, any events or whatever and just be la 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 la. I'm not like that anymore. You don't like people as much as anymore, or maybe I don't want to wear
Maybe.
makeup, or my clothes don't fit. I don't know. But in my head, I know, okay, these are all the insecurities I have. I understand it. I understand the anxiety. But physically, my body starts acting up, which means I have like flushes, or I'm inflamed, or my hair starts dropping, or suddenly sakit badan. So my body actually holds on to the trauma,
Wow.
right?
Like
so
a
it's
manifestation of the trauma.
correct. And I spoke to my therapist about this, and she's like, "You've done so much work with piecing together all of these issues. You know what they are. You need an avenue to release it. You need to move your body. So a lot of people do exercise or yoga or whatever. And I just shared with you, I did this
Yeah.
sexy. It's a sexy flow.
Sexy.
It's not sexy flow. It's Revenants, and it's hosted also by Rachel and Hannah Lowe. Yes, and it's basically about, it's a 12-hour retreat where you kind of reconnect with the mother in you. We all come from mothers, right? The great mother, right? And it's such a powerful tool. And a lot of it is like, yeah, deep meditation, but it's also a women's circle. Women are so powerful because we carry a womb. We can make.
Saw this.
Yeah.
In Too Hot to Handle. I watch trashy TV. but it's don't judge me. But anyways,
We need the no-brainer stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Who wants to think after like
Exactly.
work and a toddler, you know?
Right. But seriously, I saw this, but I thought it was ridiculous. But I didn't know that this is actually.
Yeah, it's actually a thing. Okay, so
Oh.
basically, as women, for generations, we have been told that we have to keep quiet, that we have to obey,
Oh my god.
we cannot have an opinion, we cannot feel sexy, we cannot wear sexy, we cannot do this. We have to conform. So it was powerful because we had all these women who were going through different things in their lives. There was someone there who was going through a divorce, someone who had just lost a partner, someone who just lost a mom, someone who like me who's like, I don't know who the I am. Like, you know? Sorry. And you know, there's just so many, but the one thing that connects us is our womanhood. It doesn't matter. We understand. And the power of that, when the minute I get goosebumps when I talk about this, but the minute I cross that line of going into the sacred circle, it was almost like the tears, the trauma from my body just rolled out of my eyes. So I didn't like cry, but it somehow my body just released everything. And the tears just kept running. For 6 hours, I was crying the whole time. Because my body just needed to release it. Because we are never allowed to cry.
Yeah.
We're never allowed to feel pain.
Yes.
Because we have to get up, look after the kid, look after the husband. No, we cannot. We just have to function and be this wonderful human being. Right?
It's societal expectations, and you know what
Generational.
Yes. Generational societal expectations. And you know what the worst part that I find? I was thinking about this in the car the other day, and how we are so lucky in this era that we live in now. We have a more kinder support system amongst mothers,
That's so
whether we are friends or not.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. But that's the thing. There's the no part. And it's bizarre how there are still some people that look down upon other mothers.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's like, I'm like, honey, you know, like, don't you, like what you said, treat people the way you want to be treated. And
Yeah.
to expect that sort of treatment, or to think that it's okay to treat a person lesser than they should be, like, that they
But
deserve.
then sometimes I think about it, it's actually their insecurities, and they didn't have the support that they needed to, you know. So
So they bully others.
or they feel like they have the right to go, you know.
Yeah.
But it's also, like I said, it's generational. It's generational like trauma that has been passed on, and it's not from just our mothers or grandmothers. It's like from
Great.
from like the womanhood of the woman, right? So what was powerful about this is we had a circle and we started like throwing words. So what is a good mother? So all these women were like, what's a good mother? A good mother, you know, shows up. A good mother says the right thing. A good mother is this. Throwing all these words, right? A great mother, because it was all societal demands of what a good mother is.
Yeah.
Okay? But thinking about what is a great mother, like what is a great mother in your eyes? Like what is a great mother? A great mother laughs out loud. A great mother makes mistakes. A great mother loves unconditionally. A great mother sometimes screws up. A great mother is someone,
Sometimes cry in the
and
bathroom.
cry in the
Yeah.
bathroom. A great mother enjoys the small things in life. A great mother likes to be spoiled. A great mother is sexy. A great mother is, and then suddenly the vibe of everything changes.
Yeah.
Right? So using the energy, we started moving. And we went outside in the sun.
Yeah.
And we were like doing the yaya papaya kind of stuff lah, you know, like you know, with the drum.
fun.
And it
Kumbaya,
is
my
fun
love.
because it was a safe space. It
Yeah.
was not judgmental. It was all about women empowerment. It was all about movement is so important to heal, especially mothers, because we don't move anymore. We move functionally.
differently.
We move for others.
We're not.
We
We
move
don't.
for others.
Yes,
Exactly,
we don't
Sofea.
move for
Yeah.
us anymore. But anyways, we're gonna take a really short break now. When we come back, we're gonna ask Ili about her journey in with PCOS and endometriosis and how it had impacted her throughout, whether it's pregnancy, post pregnancy, and what is happening now. But yeah, because it's like because PCOS is another thing, by the way. So when we come back, we'll also be talking about the balancing act of motherhood as well as personal growth. We'll dive straight into it. But yeah, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Now let's get into something every mom can relate to, the delicate balance of motherhood with personal growth. It's like trying to be a superhero and a human, all that like in once, which is impossible, but I think most mothers can do it. And we're going to ask Ili how she strikes the balance and, more importantly, how to thrive in both roles.
Ooh, another loaded guys.
We're trying to make you work in the morning.
That's the thing. It's like if we start with all the simple questions, we'll literally be here for 4 hours before we get to the
that's
nitty-gritty.
so true. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do it, really. So a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually taking a sabbatical because I just can't anymore. And the beauty of the process of me going through this is that, again, because I did the work, right? I did the work. And to be a parent, and you want to be a responsible parent, you have to do the work. That's how I see it. Other people might have different opinions, but that's how I see it, because I didn't want to be a parent not knowing what I was getting myself into. And because I have seen all my friends go through it, I wanted to break the cycle. Right? So I did all the work. So because I did all the work, I have a clear indication of when I'm going to fall. So I already know that if I keep going like this, pretending that I'm still like Ili Sulaiman, yay, I can still do like the show stuff and the, keeping up with social media and the events and, and being an entrepreneur and running my business and being a mom, being a wife, being a daughter, being a daughter-in-law. And, we also look after my sick mother-in-law. So there's a whole other thing, right? So if I continue doing this, that's it. And I know that I'm the locus. Mothers are like the hub. If we crumble, everything else around us.
So true. It's like I always say, as a mom, never say I'm about to get sick or I don't feel good, because as soon as you do, your body will crumble. Mampus everyone in the household once I finish.
So that in itself is already a red
very
flag. It's already a red flag.
Yeah.
So I
my
already
God.
know. I thought, okay, I'm gonna give this season. So my busy season is actually now until after Raya.
Okay.
That's when I get the most jobs, and even for business is good because festivities, everybody wants to celebrate and everything. So I said to my business partner, I said to my team as well, okay, I'm going to take a break after Raya, from Raya onwards. But last month, 2 months ago, I was already kind of like, ooh, I can feel it.
You feel that you're okay.
I can feel the depression creeping in, the anxiety. That it started with anxiety first.
Can you share us how did you feel it? Because maybe some mom knows, but they don't actually.
So they don't intune it,
Yeah.
right? They don't tune it. So basically, mothers have sixth sense. I mean, women have sixth sense, but we always dumb it down. We don't listen to it. So mine is basically a feeling like macam I get invited to something and I'm like, I look at it and my first response is, tak nak pergi lah. And the first response is actually the response that you want. Or I have a friend, who comes and says, Ili, let's go out for lunch. And my first response is, I don't know.
If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
It's basically, it's not even a no. It's not even like, it's like a
in the middle.
It's like kind of like, like you feel obligated.
Yeah.
The feeling of obligation.
You don't have that passion, that fire.
Or you don't want to see anyone.
Yeah.
You don't want to do anything,
Yeah.
And for me, other indication is I stop cooking. When I stop cooking, that's when I know I'm not happy. When I don't go into the kitchen, I don't want to make breakfast with the family, I don't want to cook lunch, I don't want to cook dinner, I just don't want to cook. I don't want to go grocery shopping. That's an indication for me something's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the joys that you find, you no longer find joy in it. That is a
Oh my God.
big red flag.
I think I'm
Yeah.
in that.
Yes.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, things are coming out. I think this is for me.
No.
Can you be like that?
Not, I can be, what I can do is I can hold space and listen to you.
Yes.
I can hold space and listen to you. So basically, like, these are all the signs, and I just have to listen to them, and then I know. And then the other thing, the biggest leap is, so these are all the signs. I don't cook, I don't want to see anyone, I don't want to go out, blah blah blah. And then I feel fatigue. So then my PCOS flares. I feel fatigue, my hair starts dropping, I have acne, and my acne is like on my perut and my back and my armpits. Besar-besar tau, my pimples, very big and painful because of the PCOS. And then I feel fatigue, and then I fall into depression. So when I fall into depression is I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to see anyone, I don't mandi, I just, and that's bad already lah. So now I know the red flags, so I know what I need to do. So the
Yeah.
minute I see the red flags, then I have to tell the people around me, okay, I need a break. So no work, nothing. Then I start going into my routine, which is wake up in the morning, go outside, sit in the sun. So I bring my son out to the pool area or the garden. We walk around. I tell my husband, I don't care. You have to take me walking every day.
So nice to have a supportive partner.
That's what you need. You need your support system.
Yeah.
You need the people who, like, when I told Dee,
Yeah.
what was it that day? You wanted to book me for this?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't have the headspace for
Yeah.
it. And she totally
that's the
respected it.
one.
Yeah, I didn't even reply
Right.
because it was just like a matter of you're not in the right headspace to decide now for this or that. It's cool.
Yeah,
But I also
totally
love
get it.
that, that you have a
Yes.
friend that you can actually say it and they just automatically understand.
Well, see, that's
Right.
the thing. I think with over time, like with what you went through, Ili, like you had been able to, you have like what your therapist said, you have the knowledge
Correct.
and the know-how on how to be really in tune with your body.
Mhm.
So for Ili, like you said, you have that little inkling of like macam, oh, if it's a no, like I don't really want to. So there are certain indications. For me, on the other hand, it's like it feels like a wave inside of my body. And like 2 weeks before my period, which is like bloody annoying because I barely have time to regulate and be absolutely normal. I can genuinely feel my body shifting, and like it's like this sense of there are things that I'm supposed to do. There are things I haven't done, or this and that and this and that. And then there are moments where you get invites to like hangout sessions and whatever. And then you're like, I can't. And it's so crippling sometimes that you just don't want to do it or whatever. But that's the thing. It's like being able to be aware of that gives you that opportunity to take a step back. And Ili had taught me that. So that's why when you were like, I need my space kind of situation, I'm like, cool beans, babes. Like,
Yeah.
I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. And people who don't understand are not meant to be in your life.
But that's so true because I
Yeah.
feel so bad these past few days because I didn't feel like doing like how you guys felt. And my husband said, it's okay, just take a step back. It's all right. Like, but then I'm like, but I can't because I have this thing where I need to please people. which
So
is
I'm a recovery people pleaser.
It's like,
I'm done.
hi, Ili.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm so done. So it's like even when I like when last time when someone has a problem, I'm like, woo, I'm here. I can help you. Like, what you need done. Now I'm just like, okay.
I guess I got to ask you this
Yeah.
question then. When it comes to balancing that,
Yeah.
being this, because being a mom adds this like so many different types of layers of characters and like
Yeah.
roles that we play.
Mm.
But you, as you said, you used to be a people pleaser. Now you're just taking a step back. How do you balance things out with the things that what prioritize? Like, what are your priorities these days? How do you prioritize?
So how I look at it is I'm 100%. Okay? And how much do I want to dedicate my 100% to my family and my son? And then I divide it up. Yeah, I say, okay, 50%. So 50% of my effort. So 50% of my day has to be waking day lah. Has to be prioritized to my family. Immediate family, not like external family, okay? Then I have 5% for my external family because my mother-in-law is sick, we have to look after her, fine. That one is obligatory.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
And then I need 30% for work because without work, I can't survive, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm in the financial position where I have business and all that, I have amazing business partners that I can actually delegate my job. And I can only give 30%. So you divvy it up lah. And then after 30%, so that's already what, 85%?
Yeah.
Maybe 10% I want to keep for myself. Selfish lah. What's that 10% I want to do for myself?
Yeah.
That doesn't involve anybody.
Yeah.
So that's how you divvy up. That's how I look at it. Sometimes when I come back from work or my husband comes back from work and he wants to load on me, I say, babe, I have no capacity today.
And he understands.
He understands because we did the parenting thing together.
Yeah.
That's
So the
good to do
communication
things.
is there.
Yeah,
You
and I
know?
think that's very crucial. Being
Mm.
able to communicate with your support system, whether it's your
Correct.
partner or whoever
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
living with you.
And really, like, sometimes people don't understand. So I have lost a lot of friends because they just don't understand.
But it's
where
okay
I-
that you lose it.
and it's
lose them,
okay
right?
because it's less for me to carry, you know. And because I'm an ex people pleaser, the less
I love that word. Please, I want to be an ask people pleaser.
Oh my God, I'm gonna make you a
now-
t-shirt that says
Ask people
XPP.
pleaser.
XPP. Your swag, guys. So what has happened is I have like lesser people in my life, but I'm able to give them 100% of my time. And that's
So
a beautiful
beautiful.
thing because
Good.
they don't get a frazzle, overbearing, crazy Ili Sulaiman
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Ili. They get this full-heartedly present human being that listens and holds space
And
with them.
they can feel your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy to
Yeah.
just like,
But
you know,
it's true though. It radiates on you. Like even
Yeah.
on social, like you can see you're like you're
Yes.
happy.
so
you're
when
this-
you say like why is it like that on social, it's
Yeah.
because I think that when it comes to, I'm still working on who I am,
Yes.
but when it comes to work, when it comes to what I want to share, the platforms I'm on, my Instagram is business.
Mhm.
It's business,
Mhm.
you know. That is real. That's my reality, and that is the effort, the percentage, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm very smart. I mean, I'm a Virgo, so I'm very organized when it comes to like things that I want to get done.
Yes.
And I also know, okay, now that I'm at this period where I'm really like the cookie jar dah habis because I've been doing this for 10 years. Next year will be 10 years. I've been doing this.
Woo, congrats.
So I think I deserve a break. So I'm taking a sabbatical. So I'm taking a sabbatical to fill up my cookie jar. And yesterday I went and bought some art material. You know,
Yeah,
me and
yeah.
you used to jam on art jam and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And, you know, I went to the stationery shop. I spent like 2 hours there just like walking around and wandering, being a child again. Like,
By
wow.
yourself.
Yeah, by myself.
Oh, that's the
Like,
best.
oh my god, they have so many like highlighters. Last time my time in school, highlighted like three, 4 colors. Now they have like they have a wall.
colours, yeah, exactly.
And you got pastel highlight. I was like just in my element. I was like, wow, this brings me joy. So I'm trying to find the things that bring me joy. I went for my first salsa class yesterday.
Oh my
as well.
gosh.
I didn't tell anyone. I was just like, I just told my husband, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go and join this beginner salsa class, 8 classes. I had such a great time.
Oh
I
my
didn't know anyone. I
gosh.
was like dancing my little like tush off.
Mm.
You know, I just want to do things that make
Makes
me
you
happy.
happy.
And I think
Yeah.
that's really to do with identifying, like what you said, that 10% or 15% or however many percent you want to give for yourself.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
one of the things that I feel
And
like
don't feel guilty
Yes.
about it.
so
yeah, how do you
effing-lutely.
even eliminate that,
Dude,
right?
Yeah, no, because the thing is, like, this was like something that I took note of when earlier on lah of motherhood, when basically what happened was that, you know, Alex, my husband, he always has to do his work and whatever, but he has his own set routines, you see. When he wakes up in the morning, he takes his time, he looks at his phone, blah di da di da, and then after that he goes into the toilet and then he gets ready and like takes about
And why
30,
do they
30,
take 45 minutes to get ready?
45 minutes,
That's,
yeah.
that's your me time.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. That's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
it. Because there was this one day, one weekend lah, we didn't have the helper around during that point. So one morning it was like, oh okay, I'll go shower first. You watch the baby, and I'll mandi cepat. I mandi mandi macam busu punya mandi lah, like splash
Wash
splash
whatever that you
wash
need to
whatever.
wash.
Forget washing your hair. Forget washing your face. Just brush your teeth and boop out, in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, okay, now you go. And then after that, we'll set up lunch and whatever, or breakfast or whatever. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, mana mamat ni? Where is my husband right now? I don't understand. So then I walked into the bedroom and I see him in the toilet, like door half open, and he was basically looking in the mirror, looking at his mustache, his beard, and everything. And I was like, in my heart, I was like, alamak, like I'm gonna whack. And then I was like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna get mad at you today. I'm not gonna scream at you today. I'm gonna see if we do this again another day. And true enough, the same repeat happened. But then when I looked at him, initially in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna have the bitchiest face
Marah.
ever, so that like macam I want him to see that I'm upset. But then I really observed him. And then I looked and then I was like, see, now this is the kind of guy who knows exactly what he needs to do in order for him to put his best foot forward for the day, for himself, and so that he can provide for other people. And then I said to myself, when the heck did I decide not to give myself that time? And even when moments where I said to him, like, okay, I want to go shower and whatever, do my thing, and then after that he will bring my daughter to me because my daughter wants to come to me, like, she just wants me, right? But then all kids want their moms, right? But in the end I had to say to him, this is my me time. I just need like X amount of time. You layan her, you take her outside, watch TV, you do whatever you need to do. And dude, that made all the difference. Just the 20 minutes doing your face, washing your face, putting on moisturizer la, toner la, whatever nonsense you want to put, fixing your eyebrows, washing your hair, and blow drying your hair makes all the difference in the world. So it's like, it's great that you are able to do that. And I think this is why what Mamas Here is all about. We want to remind everyone that you gotta have that moment for yourself. Now you, my girl,
sometimes like even for me, and I feel like a lot of the mom out there, they always take care. They're so good at taking care of other people, but they forgot to take care of them.
And if they don't take care of themselves,
how are they supposed to take care of them?
The words of RuPaul.
If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen in
But
here?
honestly, it's easy to say it than actually to be done. Like you do a lot of work. The process of it, it's so, and some might not have the capacity or the luxury
or the partner
exactly
or,
to do that.
All the means. I get it.
I think in that sense, like, yes, of course, we have to check our privileges over here because we do have support somewhere, somehow. There are moms who are doing it completely on their own. We have to acknowledge that. What do we feel like if we were to have those moms who absolutely do not have support? What are some of the things that you feel that we can do to help them, or they can perhaps try beginning themselves?
So I think the first thing is to go back to breathing. To just like take a moment, and you can take a moment and breathe with your children, and that's the best thing because it's free. You know what I mean? The other thing is grounding. So going out, taking off your shoes and running around in the grass with your children as well. That's free. You know,
it's so
water.
nice.
Water is another. Drink cold water. Play with water. Play in the shower. Play in the rain. So go back to nature. Basically, that's another thing that if you feel overwhelmed, like sometimes like I don't have help all the time. Sometimes like on weekends it's just us, and when sometimes like so when I'm feeling overwhelmed, especially with my son or with everything that's going on, I just pick him up because we're both feeling I just pick him up and we just go up to the rooftop, and there's a garden patch, and we just run around like crazy people.
It's so beautiful, right? Because people make it like, oh, I need a me time. I need to go for spas, but I don't have money. But I just told, like, because I have a group, it's called Grow and Glow Mama. And I told them that, just if you have a mask, just slap the mask and just close your eyes. Like 5 minutes
or
of
the
self-care.
other thing is pretend that you're in a spa.
Right.
Put on some music,
Yes.
And the other thing I do with Micah is we dance. Like I just blast music
that's so
and
nice.
and then once he sees me like going crazy, he also starts dancing. And dancing is also a part of therapy, movement, right? So these are like the things that you can do,
and also bond with your child.
Bond with your child, but you also give yourself that me time,
inner,
to like to reconnect with nature, to even like water, like I said, water, drinking a glass of water, making coffee or tea for yourself. How you like it, not how the husband likes it, not how your mother-in-law likes it, how you like it. What's the drink that you like? If it's like cold, whatever lah, cold iced tea or whatever.
Motherhood is so simple, actually. But the society make it hard. We make it hard. We think too much sometimes. When actually sometimes the privilege is in front of us.
Betul. You just have to find what you have and just
be creative about it.
Yeah, correct. And because, I'm taking a sabbatical now, and, I haven't really had much work this last year. It's been really tough year for everybody this year. And with everything, I think the world is going crazy. We've had a huge financial hit, myself and my family. But for some reason, I am at peace with the lack of. Does that make sense? Because I look around and I'm just like, actually, we don't need that much, and we have a house.
Yeah.
You know, we have a roof over our heads.
We're
We
never
have food, and
hungry.
we're never hungry. You know, we're okay, and that's all we need. You know, we're happy. And actually, we have a lot more than a lot of other people there. And we're
Oh,
very
yes.
blessed. And that's what we forget as mothers, because we're always trying to thrive to be better and be doing, you know, to do more and do more, do more, do more.
I think social media plays an important role in that, to make us
Yeah.
always feel guilty,
Yes.
make us wanting more.
Mm-mm.
But actually, it's true what you said. I actually had that. Like I was telling my husband, like, oh, everything is not right. Like businesses is not doing great. But then my husband said something to me like, but we have a bed to sleep on. Our
Yeah.
kids are safe,
Yeah, correct.
healthy.
Yes.
And you suddenly just stop and like, yeah, you running and running and running, and I don't
Yeah.
know where I'm running to, you know?
That's why, like, even for me on a regular basis, like, whenever I feel like, oh my gosh, like the world is about to like crumble kind of
Yeah, yeah.
situation, dude, I open my fridge, man, and I'm like,
So full.
there's food in the fridge.
Exactly.
It's like I am so blessed, I am so grateful, and then like from that moment, it's like taking those little steps of gratitude that does
Yeah.
make a huge difference. And I think one of the key factors to like not to I'm like not saying that all moms are like this, but there is an innate thing in us that there are certain things that we can't let go of, that we
Yeah.
need to have some kind of sense of control in certain
We
things.
call them in the Yaya Papaya scene.
Yeah, papaya.
I love
papaya
that.
scene.
Yaya Papaya scene.
We're gonna have that class from now on. Welcome to our Yaya Papaya class.
So
Oh my god,
we
I
call
might do an
it
event.
it's called wobbles.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so you go through these waves, and you know it's just normal. It's nature, right? You have
Yeah.
some days where it's beautiful and sunny and everything's cantik, and then torrential rain and
Yeah.
trees are falling. You know, and as human beings, as mothers, we also have these. We have our good days and we have our wobble days. And what brings us back to the wobble days is basically, like I said, those four things: water, breathe, grounding, and then dance, movement. Things. And then the other thing that you can do is also you pick one thing that you find that really resonates with you. So my thing that I always go back to that really makes me smile from the inside out is I say, I choose me.
Love that.
Oh, that's so powerful. It's simple but
Simple.
powerful.
Yeah.
I just choose me. So if I choose me, everything else will fall into place. And that's like, so right now it's like I'm trying to find out what me is, but I'm not in a rush to get there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself some grace,
Yeah.
some patience, some up wobbles, you
Yeah.
know, in between
Yeah.
to try and find who Ili is.
Yes.
But I choose me, and that's how I look at it.
I
Yeah.
love that because you know, like when I left radio and I thought in my head like, okay, it's time for me to do all the things I said I wanted to do but never got around to doing. I still want to do that, but I started to notice that I was, being amongst a group of mom friends who are achieving so many things. Let alone they're all like working out la, working la, this la, that la, like they look perfect like majority of the time, if not like 199% of the time that I see them anyway. And I'm like, I look at it as like, at one point, am I doing enough? And I think that race to want to keep getting there really fast, you get like destination fever. Once you achieve that goal, then what? You have to enjoy the process at the end of the day, I feel. And it's almost as though if we keep on focusing on the part where I have to be something, that's the thing. It's like how are you actually going to identify yourself? You say I choose me, but how many times are we going to actually identify ourselves as I am me rather than I am a mom, I am a worker of this place, I'm a radio announcer, I'm a host, I'm a chef, I'm a PR person, I'm a gym goer, I do all these things just to add these layers for the sake
So
of
it goes
it.
back to what brings you joy, right?
Yeah.
It goes back to like your 100%.
Yeah.
Like what's important to you.
Yeah.
So you have to do the work and
Yeah.
figure out what that is. You
Mm.
know, I saw something on TikTok. I learned so much from TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok is like
You're gonna teach me how to get that
therapy and
content.
coach and whatever. But
I
I
also
also
have
like
TikTok.
TikTok. And it's so funny because it says that your children will never remember that your house is messy, but they'll remember the love. That
Oh
they
my
give
god,
you.
that's so true.
Yeah, and like
Yes.
you
It
know,
gives me goosebumps.
yeah,
because
they don't care that the house is messy and
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
you haven't mopped or cleaned or washed anything for a week,
Yeah.
but they
Mm.
remember that you being present, playing
Yeah.
with them, and you loving them, and that's what's important. So it's great to look outwards
Yeah.
and find inspiration, but
Yeah.
actually you just have to look inwards
Then,
and see
yeah.
like what really makes you happy and what
Yeah.
makes you take off,
Yeah.
what makes you angry, what makes you feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
as well. That's important to also acknowledge, right?
Yes.
Like certain people or certain situation makes you feel uncomfortable, you shouldn't be there.
Mm.
You can say no and set those boundaries
Right.
and be like, nah,
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
No, you know what? Thank you so much for joining us today. I wish we had more time.
We didn't even talk about PCOS.
I know. Tell me about it. We touched it like this such a late only. Don't worry about it. But either way, it's like, if you want to follow Ili's journey in anywhere at all, you can follow her on Instagram at Ili Sulaiman. You're on TikTok as well, right?
Yes, I am.
So it's also Ili Sulaiman, is it?
Yes.
Yes. So definitely check her out.
Content's
check out,
funny. You
Yeah.
learn a lot about food.
Yeah, I mean, but either ways, we look forward to seeing what you'll be going through within your sabbatical, what kind of journey you want to pave for yourself, and it's going to be really super exciting. But thank you again so much. Like, your journey is like a powerful reminder of like the resilience and the strength that lies within basically every mom.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries. And it's basically like, showing us that embracing the new identities that come with motherhood, even though it's challenging, it can lead to very deep personal growth and fulfillment. And I really hope that you get there the best way and the best time that's meant to be for you. Yeah, love you, love.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Ili.
Thank you for having
I
me,
think
ladies.
I learned a lot. I feel like I'm going home to my husband. I'm like, I'm saying no.
Yes.
Yeah, saying
Say
no,
no
is
and
a
choose
powerful
you.
thing actually
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And to our listener today, today's episode highlights an essential truth. Motherhood is a journey of continuous evolution. It's about finding balance, embracing change, and obviously rediscovering oneself during the most adventurous part of your life.
And you have to remember that it's okay to feel lost sometimes. It's okay to feel like you've taken a few steps back, because every mother's journey is absolutely unique. But the common theme is that the courage to face the unknown and the resilience to adapt and grow through everything. So, yeah.
We really hope that this episode has inspired you, whether you're a mom, soon to be mom, or trying to be a mom, or anyone embracing significant life changes. And every step, no matter how challenging, is a step towards rediscovering and reinventing yourself, just like me today. I think I rediscovered myself.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
again,
love you,
Ili.
ladies.
All right, well,
Thanks.
join us for our next episode as we continue to explore the different experiences of life as a mom. Until then, stay inspired and keep embracing your journey.
Today's episode of Mama's Here podcast is produced by Kelvin Tay, Raghinie Ravi, and Bryan Henry, and edited by Bryan Henry, Azwan, and Kelvin Tay. For more of us, find us on all social media platforms at Mama's Here Podcast. We've been your hosts, Diyana, Hashim, and Sofea Mastan. Bye! Bye!
Thanks, Ili.